वेलकम टू माय चैनल अखंड क्लासेस। आज हम बायोमॉलिक्यूल्स में कार्बोहाइड्रेट के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे। बायोमॉलिक्यूल्स में बायोमॉलिक्यूल्स कार्बोहाइड्रेट के बारे में डिस्कस करेंगे। कार्बोहाइड्रेट्स कार्बन, हाइड्रोजन और ऑक्सीजन तीन एलिमेंट से बना होता है, जिसमें कार्बन 1, हाइड्रोजन 2 और ऑक्सीजन 1। कार्बन, हाइड्रोजन और ऑक्सीजन का 1:1 रेशियो होता है, इसलिए इसका जनरल फार्मूला CnH2n होता है। Carbohydrates are sweets in taste. It's also known as saccharides. Saccharide means sugar because it is sweet in taste, so it's known as saccharides. Carbohydrates 3 types होते हैं. Types of depending on the units, there are 3 types of. Depending on the units, there are different types of carbohydrates. Number 1, monosaccharides. In monosaccharides, 1 unit of saccharides is present. In disaccharide, as name suggests, 2 units of sucrose is present. Of saccharides is present. One is oligosaccharide. Oligosaccharides. In oligosaccharides, there are 3 to 10 units of saccharides are present. इसलिए दे सकते हैं कि मोनोसैकराइड्स में 1 यूनिट्स होते हैं शुगर के, डाइसैकराइड्स में 2 यूनिट होते हैं शुगर के, और ओलिगोसैकराइड्स में 3 to 10 यूनिट्स होते हैं शुगर के. So these are the different types of sugar carbohydrate. Depending on the carbon number, there are different types of monosaccharides. Carbon number 3 is known as triose. Name of monosaccharides. If 4 number of carbon is present, then it's tetrose. If 5 number carbon is present, then it is known as pentose sugar. If 6 number carbon is present, then it is known as hexose sugar. If 7 number carbon is present, then it is known as hectose sugar. So they are different. As the carbon number changes, their name of monosaccharides are different. So for example, if triose, then what is formula? General formula: carbon 3 carbons, then hydrogen is double in number 6, and oxygen is 3 in number, C3H6O3. Tetrose, C4H8 and 4 oxygen. Pentose, C5H10O5. Hexose, C6 H12 and O6. Heptose C7 H14 and O7. These are different general formula of thiose, tetrose, pentose, hexose and heptose. Thiose, glyceraldehyde. Tetrose, erythrose. Pentose, ribose sugar. Hexose, glucose. Fructose and heptose, said heptose. These are the examples of monosaccharides. And this one is known as chemical formula. So in monosaccharides, we discuss on hexose sugar. Hexose sugar, in hexose, glucose and fructose are examples. If in any hexose aldehyde group is present, then it is known as aldose sugar. And if in any hexose ketone group is present, ketone group as a functional group present, then it is known as ketose. So aldose and ketose, two types of monosaccharides presents on depending on their functional group. And for examples of aldose is glucose, and example of ketose is fructose. Both are monosaccharides. And let's discuss on glucose. Glucose, aldose sugar, it is found in two forms: open form and closed form. Open chain and closed chain. It is found in two forms: open chain and closed chain. The structure of glucose is as glucose is hexose, so six number of carbon is present: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. There are 6 carbons of chain. It is open chain structure. As we know that it is aldose, so in glucose aldehyde group is present. COH. First carbon, second carbon, third, fourth, fifth and sixth carbon. On first carbon aldehyde group is present. Second, third, fourth, fifth and sixth. It is very easy to draw the open chain of glucose. We write on this sides OH except carbon number 3. On carbon number 3, here is hydrogen is labeled. and at this sides we satisfy all the carbon with hydrogen except carbon number 3. At carbon number 3, here we write hydroxyl group. And this is the structure of open chain of monosaccharides glucose. This is functional group of aldehyde. This is open chain, but it also convert into the closed chain. So how it's change into closed chain? In formation of closed chain, the fifth carbon hydroxyl make a bond with first carbon hydrogen. The fifth carbon of hydroxyl make a bond with first carbon of hydrogen as follows: C1, C2, C3, C4, C5 and C6. So in this reaction, H and OH is removed in the form of water. It's one water molecules lost and it forms C this molecules is removed in form of water. So carbon number 1 oxygen is here and it form a chain. It is form a chain. OH H OH OH H, and here also OH H and H. So with this diagram, this closed chain is hexagonal chain. We write this chain in this form. This is hexagonal ring in which carbon number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 CH2OH. As we see that this is fifth number carbon in which one oxygen is present. Fifth number carbon, one oxygen, and at terminal sixth number carbon with CH2OH. CH2OH. This is CH2 and OH. And all the carbon are satisfied with hydrogen and hydroxyl. So then this is open chain and this is a closed chain reaction. This closed chain reactions and open chain reaction. This is closed chain. This is one is closed chain. This is the structure of open chain of glucose, and this is the closed chain structure. Both structures are interconvertible. Open chain and closed chain always interconvertible. This ring structure is hexagonal, so it is also known as hexagonal ring. Hexagonal ring. And glucose closed chain hexagonal ring is known as pyranose. Hexagonal ring is known as pyranose. Pyranose ring. This is all about the structure of glucose. This bond, which is formed in carbon number 1 and 5, is known as hemiacetal bond. It is known as hemiacetal bond. On next video, we discuss on the difference between glucose and fructose structure.